New lathe, big lathe. This is really exciting. Opens up cool things for work. And boy, it's a big one. Unloading it was fun. This was a huge pedestal base for a dining table. I figured why not just go ahead and jump in on the new lathe and do something big. It was good timing from a client. Man, this sucker can move. It's, I mean, I hadn't even really, to be honest, checked the belt and tightened it as much as it needed, and it was still pushing pretty well. Um, I think this pedestal base, I think within a matter of a couple hours, it was pretty done. This is the tail end of the turning of it because I don't know, I didn't want to do footage of some giant block breaking off and hit me in the chest. But at this point, I'm mostly just kind of cleaning up and tidying up the curves and the interior lines. You can see my knife is on its side where I'm really just kind of scraping it, so to speak. So I love bowl gouges. God, they're great. They do so many different things. They're very versatile. They're useful for more than just bowls. But yeah, no, the action on that lathe is killer. I mean, it's being able to have that variable speed right there at a knob is so convenient. But regarding turning something this big, most people's concern is the stability of the lathe, and that's one of the main reasons I picked this lathe out. Is it's heavy as all get up. So when you're turning heavy stuff, it's pretty daggum stable. I had some wobbling when that thing was getting roughed out with my roughing gouges, but so then I went on. I put it through some tests doing my annual small batch of stuff, and these were some miniature bowls. And you can see there's some accessories there, which I'll show better footage of or up close of later and talk about. But yeah, I mean, just this sucker just rolled like a champ. Now here's the bad news about that tool rest. It's heavy. The good news about that tool rest is it's heavy. It doesn't move. It didn't budge for not once in the several, like probably, I don't know, I was on the lathe for 2 days straight, nonstop, about 9 to 10 hours. It didn't budge once. But it's heavy, you're moving around, but that's part of the work. Can't have everything you want, right? And I'll take a heavy rest that doesn't budge over anything. And it was solid. So here's some of the accessories that I was messing with or using on the bowls and stuff and on the pedestal base. That's my old G3 chuck that I used in my old lathe, which is good for stuff that's 12 inches or under. My old lathe had a 12-inch swing, so it's a great chuck. And then I upgraded when I was up at Grizzly and picked up I think it's a Supernova 2, and that sucker can do some big things. And that's a really great set. I've really found the Nova stuff to be just really well built, really well machined, really solid, dependable. And that's the mounting plate that came with the lathe, and it also worked swimmingly. It was great on that pedestal base. That is a necessary tool, my lord. Got to have that if you're doing anything on a lathe. This was great. This is a little South Bend chuck that fits in the tailstock, which is an M2 taper. This allowed me to punch Forstner bits down into bowls and vases. This saved me a lot of time, not having to pig out the material with a gouge. These are different tailstocks that I've been using on different workpieces. They all have their time and place, in my opinion. These are random Forstner bits I think I grabbed off Amazon in a pinch real quick just because I had to have certain sizes. And those are the ones I just plunged straight on in through that chuck, that South Bend chuck. It's killer. I'll see if I can maybe get I'll post a link to that because it's really useful. But it's called Grizzly. They're pretty helpful people, man. These are Fish Forstner bits, the company Fish. And at this point, I'm almost convinced they'll never dull. It's absurd how sharp these suckers are and how long they stay sharp. It is unbelievable. Their bits alone are just mind blowing. But yeah, so here's some of the stuff I turned out lathe in the first month I owned it. And I look forward to getting on there more often. Really depends on what jobs come in. But incredible lathe. I cannot recommend that thing enough.